Am I not growing muscle if I'm not sore? This is a question that I get asked all the time, and it's a good question because it's a loaded question. There's multiple answers to this question, and we're going to talk about a lot of that in today's video. But before we get started, guys, if you enjoy the content, make sure you show your support for the channel, subscribe, click that notification bell, and of course, the YouTube algorithm loves that like button, so go down there and show that some love. But I actually made a video about this 9 years ago, which is insane to say because it feels like just yesterday. So on my website, muscularstrength.com, I'll post the link down in the info section below to the article. The video is right here. But the reason why I say this is a loaded question is because you could not be getting sore for multiple reasons. You could not be getting sore because, to put it plainly, your workout is terrible, your range of motion is not there, and you're not pushing yourself with heavy enough weights, right? Like, that could be a reason why you're not getting sore. Another reason why you could not be getting sore is because your body is adapting to the routine. You're still seeing progress, but the whole point of your body doing a repetitive motion is to get better at it. So yeah, that you can still build muscle without getting sore, but then there's the third scenario where you're no longer getting sore, you're no longer building muscle, and there's a change that needs to happen. And so we're going to talk about all of that. We're going to see if this article from 2015 still rings true today, 9 years later. And there's some additional information I'm going to give you guys as well that I've learned in that 9 years that by the time this video is over, you're going to sit back, look at your workout, and you're going to feel really good about it because you're going to know exactly what you need to do to make some changes. And speaking of changes, your boy has actually acquired another sponsorship. I am now with EHP Labs as a brand ambassador, and I made the announcement last week. And the week before that, I talked about how I'm turning 40 this year. I know it sounds crazy. We're all getting older. Still looking good, still looking young, right? Hopefully, but we're all getting older. And my goal for my 40th birthday is I want to be in the best shape I've ever been in my entire life. I'm going to do it naturally. You know, your boy is natural. OG fitness YouTuber, natty for life. That's just how I roll. In this photo, I'm about 185 pounds. Last year, this time, I was like 200 pounds, but I was not really caring about being super lean. Right now, I'm about 182 pounds, and I went over the stack that I'm using from EHP Labs in a video I posted on my Instagram last week. And so, of course, always the number one thing you focus on is food. I'm running a high protein diet right now. I'm sticking to lots of meats, lots of veggies, lots of fruits, things like that, drinking a ton of water. I'm fasting from 8 p.m. until 11 a.m. every single day. I've increased my cardio. I have a 3-mile run that I do 2 to 3 days a week. I can make a separate video about all of this, but I'm really excited to join the EHP Labs team because, number one, their products are great. And I have a code you saw it just pop up. It's Herman, 10% off everything on their website. So go to EHP Labs to use that. But the protein that I'm using, so my stack, I'm using the Oxy Whey. One scoop is 25 grams of protein, 3 grams of carbs, and it's really great for me because I'm trying to lean out. Yeah, I'm still getting a decent amount of carbs, but I'm trying to go super high with my protein. I can get away with 2 scoops and get 50 grams of protein with only 6 grams of carbs. And as I'm trying to lean out, the Oxy Shred is perfect for me. And they did this insane collaboration with Ghostbusters, and this is the one that I got. I got the Slimer flavor. It tastes really good. I take that every single day. Usually I take it in the morning or about 10 minutes before I go to the gym. And another product that I'm using quite a bit is the Slimer Energy Drink or just the Oxy Shred. You don't have to get this flavor. There's multiple flavors. And the reason why I'm so excited about this partnership is because, guys, as you know, I've been building a mobile game for the last 2.5 years. We're globally launching this summer. So you're going to see WAGMI Defense everywhere. If you want to go to my website, you can check it out. But I spend so much time in front of my computer building my game, talking to people in Telegram, like tons of networking. I need an energy drink, and I go for the Oxy Shred, and it tastes absolutely amazing. So use my code, check it out. But really excited to make that announcement. Even more excited to see just how shredded I get by the time I hit 40. Man, we are getting old, okay? But back to the video. So, am I not growing muscle if I'm not sore? A guide to muscle growth. So, there's a few different things that we need to talk about, and you guys need to really take to heart the 3 muscle building mechanisms, okay? Mechanical tension, metabolic stress, and muscle damage. If you can get at least 2 of these to be a focus in your workout, you're on the right path. Not all of you will be able to get all 3 of these in one workout, but you'll always at least be able to get 2. And it's understanding what these terms mean that's going to help you switch up your workouts and get the best workouts when you're going to the gym. So the first one, mechanical tension, this is about the load or weight that you put on your muscles when you exercise. So the tension that the weight puts on your muscles when you're going through full range of motion causes them to respond by adapting, growing, and getting stronger, right? That's what I said earlier. Like, of course, as you're training, you're not going to get as sore and things are going to get easier because as you're increasing the weight, we also call it progressive overload. And as long as you're going through full range of motion, you guys know I'm a stickler for it. I hate going on Instagram Reels and TikTok and you see all these dudes, by the way, juiced out of their friggin' mind talking about how they do half reps to get bigger. Yeah, because you're on gear. That is why it works. If you want to not only train naturally to get the most results, but also maintain, like keep your body injury free, you need to train through full range of motion. But we'll save that topic for another day. But by training through full range of motion and increasing the weight, your body will adapt by getting bigger and stronger. So if you're always training with the same weights because you're trying to hit a specific rep range, like if your rep range is 6 to 8 or 8 to 10, and you're always adjusting your weight to make sure you hit that number, after a while, you're going to have diminishing returns. Like, it's okay to try to switch things up. So maybe your goal is 8 reps, but you increase the weight and you only get 6. That's fine, because now we're focusing a bit more on mechanical tension. If you're doing 4 sets of a bench press, do 6 to 8, 6 to 8, 6 to 8, and on your last set, increase the weight and try to get 5 to 6 repetitions out of it. Of course, grab a spotter if you need it too, but mechanical tension is all about increasing the load on your muscles, okay? Metabolic stress, this one's a little different. Metabolic stress happens when you perform exercises that rely heavily on anaerobic glycosis for energy production. In simpler words, metabolic stress happens when you do lots of repetitions and sets with short rest periods. Now, a lot of you might immediately think it's a workout like this. This is a workout I posted the other day where I just did a circuit. I did burpees, I did renegade rows, alternating dumbbell curls, and the way this circuit worked is that I did all 6 exercises in a row, 30 seconds each, and the only time I rested, and it was for 2 minutes, was after I completed all these exercises in a row. That would be metabolic stress. Now, another variation of metabolic stress that I actually incorporate into my current workout program is I do drop sets on every single exercise. For those of you who have tried my 5-day bodybuilding split, for those of you who have been following me since the whole beginning of this YouTube fitness thing, I have always focused on doing drop sets on all of the exercises. And what is a drop set? A drop set is just basically when you do 6 to 8 repetitions. So I call them burn sets as well, right? So in the video right here, I'm doing 90s. I'm going to bench press them 6 to 8 times. As soon as I'm done, I'm going to throw them on the ground. I'm going to grab another pair of dumbbells, and then I'm going to do another 6 to 8 reps. Then I'm going to throw those down and grab an even lighter pair of dumbbells and do like 12 to 15 repetitions. So it's almost like I'm doing 3 sets in one, giving my muscles very little time to rest while I'm pushing them to their absolute limit. Burn sets are also, or drop sets are also a really great way for you to really train your muscles as hard as you can without having to risk injury, because as you're doing the drop sets and your muscles are fatiguing, you're getting a lot of muscle activation out of weights that you normally wouldn't because your muscles aren't fatigued. Like when you go to the gym and you're fresh and you grab a 30-pound pair of dumbbells, you can probably press it like 30 times. But if you try to press 30-pound dumbbells after doing 90s for 8 and then 50s for 8, you probably can only press the 30s for like 6 or 7. Why? Because you're fatigued, but you're still pushing yourself to the limit. So this is another example of metabolic stress. And the reason why I'm showing that to you is because I don't want you guys to just write off metabolic stress as a circuit workout. It doesn't have to be. It can be, but it can also be used when doing your muscle building workouts by using drop sets. And of course, if you guys want to try my 5-day split, you can try it for free on my website. Just go to programs, go to muscle gain, and go to the 5-day bodybuilding split. Now, the third muscle building mechanism is muscle damage. And this is where things can get a little tricky. Third mechanism, muscle damage, occurs when you exercise and cause micro tears to your muscles. In order to fix these tears, your body creates new muscle tissue, causing your muscles to grow. Muscle damage happens when you do new or different exercises, when you focus on the eccentric or descending part of the exercise, and when you do exercises that put tension on the muscle when it's in a stretched position, okay? So muscle damage obviously is going to be the result of either metabolic stress or mechanical tension, as long as you're pushing your limits. And that's why I said earlier, as long as you focus on at least two of these things, so the main ones being either you're highly focused on mechanical tension, muscle damage will happen as a result, or you're focused on metabolic stress, muscle damage can happen as a result from that too. Now, something to keep in mind, right? And I said earlier, there's a few different scenarios where if you're not sore, you are still building muscle, but there's some other scenarios where if you're no longer sore, you are no longer building muscle and you need to make a change. So the scenarios to where you're not getting as sore, but you're still building muscle are where you have a great workout program, you're focusing on progressive overload, and the only reason why you're not getting as sore is because you're pushing your limits and your body's getting stronger. Now, you're still feeling a bit of soreness in your body after your workouts, but it doesn't feel like it did that first week when you got back to training and you just couldn't move the next day, right? Like, it's a very different feeling of sore. So it's okay for that feeling of sore to get less and less and less as you get stronger and train with a routine. Now, after about 3 or 4 months of training as hard as you can with the workout routine, it's probably time to make a change. And a lot of people just start to think that that change automatically is I need to switch up the order of my exercises, and that's why I'm no longer feeling sore, or I need to change the entire program. I've been doing a 5-day split, for the last 4 months. Now I have to do push-pull legs, or now I have to do upper-lower, right? Like you have all these different reasons as to why you need to change the entire workout after a few months. But when in reality, all you need to do after about 3 or 4 months of training with the same program is take 12 to 14 days completely off from training. Now, if you still want to go to the gym and do some light cardio and some core work, that, at least to me, is okay. As long as you're not going in there and lifting super heavy and doing your normal routine, that's what I want you to stay away from. But of course, still be active in those 12 to 14 days. But what you want to do is take 12 to 14 days off completely from the gym. And what that's going to do is it's going to resensitize your muscles to muscle damage. Okay? And you've all experienced this. You've gone to the gym, you've been kicking ass, something happens, maybe it's school, maybe it's life, maybe an injury, maybe you get a different job, maybe you move, right? Something happens, you don't get to the gym 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month, 4 months, a year, something happens. And then when you go back, all of a sudden, you're doing the workout you did before, but now your body is insanely sore again like it was the first time you did it. It's because your body became resensitized to muscle damage. But why is that so important to be resensitized to muscle damage? It's because when you're sensitive to muscle damage, that is when your muscles start creating more nuclei in the muscle for growth. Okay? And this is the last thing I'm going to talk about, or else this video will go on forever. When you are a beginner and you start training, the reason why you grow so fast is because your body is so sensitive to muscle damage that it just floods the muscles with new nuclei. And each nuclei can hold a certain amount of muscle mass. We call it newbie gains, right? So the more nuclei you have in your muscle, the more mass the muscle can hold, the bigger than you can get. After a while, how much nuclei gets created tapers off, okay? And that's when you're probably starting to no longer get sore. So in order to try to shock your body to create more nuclei, to get bigger, you take 12 to 14 days off, come back, and now it's like, well, not exactly like starting fresh, but you're going to get back to that point to where you're getting incredibly sore. This is also what muscle memory is. For those of you who might have already been thinking this, muscle memory is simply that if you've already built a physique, right, and you've built muscle and you stop training and you stop eating correctly, the amount of mass decreases on each nuclei that you've gained, but the nuclei never goes away. It stays there. That's why when you start training again and eating again, you get your muscle size back relatively quick. It's because you don't have to recreate those nuclei. They're already there. They just start filling up with mass again. So that's actually what muscle memory is. And I have a whole series on nuclei overload training that you might want to check out. If you'd like to see another video recap on that, comment down on the info section below. But these are all really great subjects to discuss. Again, there's just so much misinformation on YouTube. That's actually kind of what is making me excited again about making content. Obviously, I haven't been making as much content for the last 2 years because I've been building my mobile game. I enjoy teaching. I enjoy helping people. I don't care, like, if you're in the gym with me, if you're big, like, I don't care who you are. If I see something I can help and fix, I like to help. That's just a helpful person. That's where all this started. So I really hope this video helped clear things up for you guys and gave you a better understanding of how to structure your workouts, when you should be taking time off, and why you should be progressing and overloading with weight. So comment down below if you have any questions. I'll do my best to respond. Tap that like button, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.